So if you're tired of doing this and running into your account and you want to start, hitting more consistent edits, then I know exactly what you need. What you need in order to have less input delay is a few things. So we're going to go ahead and start with the one thing that I use. The one thing that I use the most, even after getting a new PC. A lot of you guys do know I just recently upgraded my PC. I still use filter keys. Now what filter keys does is it basically is like a macro, but it's not bannable. You do not get banned for filter keys, and it's not a macro. It's similar. They do like the same thing. What a macro does is basically it spams one key for you really fast, so people would use it to edit. They could edit extremely quick. Here, this kind of just, as like you're typing, it'll like skip some words. Like it'll make them type like my S like that. If I click it one time, it'll like skip a bunch. So, and that's something you want to happen, especially when you're editing. So if you're editing, and let's say my edit button's E. See how it just jumped? I clicked it maybe twice, right? My edit button's E. So I'm editing, and then it skips. It does it really quick, making double edits, really good for you. It helps you out with double edits a lot. Like, and once you start using filter keys, you'll realize how much this actually helps you. So instead of going from, messing up your edits, you'll start hitting, decent little double edits like this, right? Into triple edits. But there's, it's not going to make you perfect. It still takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of, getting used to. And that's something obviously you obviously know you're not gonna get this and be the next booga, the next clicks, but it will still take a little bit of practice and getting used to, because it's gonna feel different 100% no matter what you do. On to some other things that I use and that I think that you should use is, and sorry for the rebuilding, it's just a habit, is a app that helps you with your ping. Now the app that I choose to use is Gear Up Booster. I've talked about this app many times. A lot of you guys say it doesn't work for you. I just want to throw this out there. It doesn't work for everybody, and that goes for absolutely any app, and that's just the truth. No matter what app you're using, whether it be Xlag, Gear Up, No Ping, whatever the heck you use, I don't know many others. They don't work for everybody. You might use one app, like Exit Lag, works perfectly. The other app does not work at all, and that's okay. That's why you try them all. I'm not saying try Gear Up Booster. I'm not saying try a different app. I'm saying try them all, right? That made absolutely no sense, but you get what I was getting with that, right? Basically, anyways, what Gear Booster does, it does what they all do. It boosts the app, but I feel like this one boosts it a little bit more. And you can actually see how much it's being boosted by. So I do highly recommend you give Gear Booster a shot. It will help you out a lot. Servers actually got moved to Ohio again, so my ping is normally around 25 in creative to 15 to 12 on the low. Right now it's on 6, 5. Sometimes it hits 0. With Gear Booster enabled. So it is definitely something I highly recommend. And if you don't like Gear Booster, that is okay. It's okay if you don't like Gear Booster. It's free to download, man. Give it a shot, right? If you don't like Gear Booster, try something else. Try Exit Lag, But I recommend a app for you to get your ping as low as you possibly can, because the game's gonna feel way better than what it did when you didn't use an app that helped you with your ping. If you'd like to get Gear Booster, I have the link in the description as well in the comment section. It'll be pinned just for you to go ahead and try out. But moving on to a few other things that I do personally in order to get my game feeling the best and running at its best. Moving on to some things a few of you guys asked me to do in my last video is my Nvidia control panel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my webcam off for this, because there's a lot on the screen that you'll need to see. So when you first open this up, I want you to copy what I have. You won't be able to move this gray bar right here. Yours might say quality. That's okay. Just click this bottom one down here where my mouse is. Click this, move it to performance, click the middle button, bam, hit apply. Okay. Next, go to manage 3D settings. Now these settings right here are exactly what you need to copy. These are the best settings for less delay, better FPS, and you're gonna feel the difference. Like, it's going to feel insane how much better your game is going to feel after using these settings, so I highly recommend you use them. I've been having a little bit of a problem with my settings resetting, so just make sure every time you update your drivers that you make sure your settings didn't reset, because I've been having mine reset a little bit. It's a little bit annoying having to check every once in a while, but it is what it is. It happens. Everybody has little problems, but that is it for the NVIDIA settings here for you to help your game run at its best and feel at its best. So copy these settings. If you like them, let me know in the comments if this helped you out at all. These settings here, I feel like these are what's going to help you out the most with feeling the best and your game running the best, because these are graphics card settings. These are in your PC settings, not something you download, nothing like that. This is legit your PC settings that you're messing with. Next, One thing that would help you out a lot is stretch res. A lot of you guys don't know how to do stretch res. I'm gonna go to show you how to do stretch res right now. And you just go here, you hit customize, which is in the Nvidia settings. You go to change resolution, customize, create custom resolution, pick what you want right here. I already have it created, so I'm gonna go ahead, bam, 1750 up here. Um, which you can just do this, hit OK. I'm not going to turn it on. I don't use stretch res anymore. But yeah, that's what you do. And then you put your monitor on 240, whatever it is. And then you go into the game settings. In order to get into game settings, you go to, which I'm on Windows 11. It's the same thing for Windows 10. And if this is confusing, I have the Discord link in the description. I can always help you out if I had the time. Just join the Discord ask. But anyways, you go here. You go to percent local app data, and then you type percent again. Click enter, it'll pull up this. This is where it gets a little confusing, hard to follow. But you find Fortnite game, you go to saved, click config, Windows client, game user settings. Now, there's a lot of stuff here. I know a lot of people are going to be a little scared when they look at something like this. But you just scroll down, scroll to the bottom. You know, it's easiest. Scroll up just a tad until you find where you see resolutions, 1920 by 1080. Change all of these. Let's say you're playing 1750 to what you just changed your monitor to. And then once you're done doing that, you come up here, click file, click save as, create new, you know, a little save thingy. And then once you're done with that, relaunch the game. When you launch the game, you should be able to run stretch res in full screen and on 1920 by 1080, but still stretch res. That's all you need. Now that we're in the settings of Fortnite, though, I'm going to go ahead and go over the best settings this season to help you with movement and to help you with your game. Now, yes, I said movement, so we're going to go ahead and start with that first. Movement, what you need to do is you need to come down here. This is the first thing you need to do. A lot of people have their force walk binded. You need to make sure force walk is not binded at all. You do not want that binded. And then move to this, where you can mess with your custom diagonals. You just turn this on, it's down here in the keyboard and mouse settings. Copy these right here. Right here will make it to where your game, your movement feels as OG as it can. There's not really a way for me to show this. This is something you have to test. So just make sure you remember what you had before, if you had anything at all, and then just put it back if you don't like this. But yeah, this is what you need to do, and your game should feel a lot better with movement-wise. And yeah, moving on, we're going to go ahead and go to some actual settings that will help your game. And it's in the third tab, very bottom. These two energy savers are what you want off. You want both these off, and it's the best way to say it is they're energy saving. So your PC, I know it says energy saving, but it's actually doing a lot more than you need. So it's making your PC run way harder than it needs to, which overall is going to make your game perform way less. So you want these off so your game performs at its best ability, is the best way to explain it. Moving on from this, we got the best graphics, like visual settings that I have for this season. This season's a little dark. They made it a little realistic, so it's a little dark. So I have my brightness at 125. And that's what I use with no colorblind while I'm streaming or just playing normally. But when I'm doing competitive, I keep it on Dutronope 5. And the reason I do this is because it is the best for seeing through like zones and builds. Like no matter what build, as soon as it's placed, you can see right through that build, like no matter what. And as well as like zones, you can see through zones like pretty much perfectly. And if you don't like this, just put it back. I recommend giving it a shot. A lot of people have their own colorblind settings that they like, but I do think the colorblind I just put on is the best colorblind for competitive, and so does Clicks. Clicks literally uses the same colorblind settings. I think he uses his on 10 though, which I think is a little bit too much, so I keep mine on 5. But yeah, that's by far probably the best colorblind settings that you could have for this season, and brightness settings. But moving on, there is a few more things I want to talk about, which I did talk about in the last video, which if you saw, that's great. I appreciate you stopping by watching the videos. This is going to be a little bit of a repeat, but this is in the Epic Games launcher. So you go here, you go to my library, you click the 3 dots, and you go to options. Now there's a few things that are different, more like one thing. It's the same exact thing, just a different name. And it says pre-download streamed assets. You want this checked off. You want it off, you want to hit apply. Everything else, unless you play Save the World, make sure Save the World gone, high resolution textures, just a 12 or direct 12 shaders. Everything here needs to be not there. And then just hit apply. It will have a quick little update, then you're good. It'll make your game run way better, FPS better, everything just better overall. Moving on, I want to talk about some products that I use as well for gaming. Now, this is something that a lot of you can't get, but it's a keyboard. I have the Apex Pro Mini, and with the Apex Pro Mini comes the software that you can use to change the speeds of a keyboard. And this happens to be one of the fastest keyboards you can buy, if not the fastest you can buy, up to the Wooting, which is the exact same speed. People will argue with me all day about which one's faster, but at the end of the day, they're the same speed. The fastest keyboards you can buy with the zero point 0.1 actuation and rapid triggers, which means it's really fast. Let's put it that way. So if you don't have this, that's okay. You can always buy some other keyboards, but this is like the best keyboard to buy for gaming. And yeah, I highly recommend. This is something that I have used for a while, and I've gotten pretty decent, and I recommend for you too. 0.1 is the fastest you can get. Most keyboards run around 0.3, 0.2 to 0.4. Yeah, and the switch on this is omni-point switches. It's not like a blue or a red. It's customizable switches. I'm pretty sure they're white. If I take a key off, I'm pretty sure they're white switches, but they're omni-point. Yeah, they're white, but they're omni-point switches, so I can customize them myself. So there's not really like a speed for them. It's really whatever I choose, and I choose them to be the fastest that they can be, for good reason. Everybody wants to have the fastest they can have. But other than that, the last thing I can say is make sure your drivers are updated. If you don't know how to update drivers, basically what you do is you go here, which yes, you will see my name at the top right. I don't really care, but you go here and you download GeForce Experience. You hit download the best drivers and the most up-to-date drivers here. Make sure everything's updated, and your game should run at its best with these settings I just gave you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you did like the video, I hope you guys do like. Please subscribe. We're so close to 4K. I'm hoping, this video maybe can push us to that 4K limit. If you do see this, make sure you subscribe, leave a like. It'll mean a lot to me. And use code T1LZR in the Fortnite item shop and support me. Also, I do stream every day, and I'm doing Battle Pass giveaways throughout the entire week of this week and next week. So if you guys would like to be a part of that, make sure you stop by, and I'll see you guys there maybe. And anyways, catch you guys in the next video.